So welcome back. In today's lecture, I am going to deal with the linear algebraic equations. Okay. So far what we have found that whenever I am dealing with any dynamical system, at that time different kind of spaces are involved there, and what we found that we have some kind of column space, we have some kind of space where element can be represented in form of matrices, and some kind of space where element is represented in form of functions. Okay, and after that what we found that whenever we are representing some kind of physical system, most of time you are able to see that that is represented by some kind of non-linear differential equation. Okay, so non-linear differential equation means, because we have already learned about the superposition principle, so we are assuming that that superposition principle is not going to hold. Obviously whenever we are talking about non-linear, then that is more broader sense, we are telling that not necessarily a linear. And after that what basically we are doing, whenever I have this class of nonlinear system, then we want to see their behavior, because nonlinear model is only valid in some particular subset. So I am telling that okay, x, whatever a state variable that is evolve in this particular space D, and that is subset of Rn. It means that I have n number of state, and state is only limited here D. Most of time what happens that we are working about the operating point or around the operating point, and during the course of modern control theory, you might have seen, due to that reason we are applying some kind of linearizing technique about some point or along some trajectory. So both kind of things we are doing. So if you do the some kind of, this is called some kind of system where autonomy means no extra variable is involved. So if you linearize that system about some point, most of time we are selecting equilibrium point, and definition of equilibrium point is that if you start from some point you have to stay there, means x dot rate of change equal to 0, so fx equal to 0 is the equilibrium point. So if you linearize your system about this point, x star is the equilibrium point, it means that if you keep x star here, then x dot equal to 0, then you are going to get some kind of linear model. For time being I am assuming there is no control action. Okay, if you are going to linearize around the trajectory, it is possible to show that if trajectory is time varying, then instead of linear linear time invariant system, I have linear time varying system, like that. Okay, so this course is basically concerned about these two objects. So but you can see that again mathematical model is not valid everywhere, and due to that reason I am not going to worry about whole space, I am just worry about the subspace. Okay, now another important question here, you can see that suppose I have linear system, I am not worrying where from where I have actually come up with this linear system. So whenever you have to calculate the equilibrium point of that linear system, so I am representing linear system by x dot equal to ax. So how to calculate equilibrium point? Dhawal, could you please tell me? For x dot equal to ax, that is linear time invariant system, how to calculate the equilibrium point? Dhawal, are you here?
Yes, yes.
So how to calculate equilibrium point? Do you have any idea? Okay,
Uh,
there is no need to worry. Equilibrium point means x is a state vector here. So suppose I have x1 up to xn. Now you can interpret this as a position. Okay, so I have position vector. Now if I will define x dot, then what is physical interpretation for that? I have position, so what is derivative of position?
Velocity.
Velocity. So now I am telling that I cannot move somewhere. So you can apply Newton's first law. So if x dot equal to 0 means that is not a single quantity, some kind of vector, means rate of change of quantity is 0, then that is called velocity. So if velocity is 0, then by Newton's first law I cannot move, and due to that reason equilibrium point is nothing but the solution of this equation, ax equal to 0. Anyone has confusion on this? Here I am assuming that a has some appropriate dimension, n cross n I am assuming, okay, and each entry of a is real number. Similarly, if I have to talk about the equilibrium point of LTV system, linear time varying system, at that time I have to solve at into x equal to 0. In today's lecture, our focus is just on ax equal to 0. Or more generally, you might have seen that whenever I am dealing with linear time invariant system, we are also keeping some kind of control action. Okay, so now how to define the equilibrium point? Suppose I have some kind of control action u equal to u0 at equilibrium point, and what we found, if I substitute this value here, at that time rate of change equal to 0. Okay, at that time if you want to identify the equilibrium point, at that time you have to solve this equation bu equal to 0. And I hope that all of you are already well aware that solution of this equation is not always possible. Okay, there exists some of the specification about the a, then only I can able to solve this equation, because this is matrix, some kind of real matrix of dimension n cross n, and you can assume this is n cross m, and you can assume that m cross 1. Okay, so if a has certain kind of a specification, then only I can solve this equation. In today's lecture, we are going to see that if I have some equation like ax equal to 0, ax equal to minus bu, you can define my now bu by y, then how to give guarantee that there exists a unique solution for x. Okay, if there exists a unique solution for x, then I am telling that my equilibrium point is unique. Okay, so that kind of things I am going to learn in today's lecture, and obviously my tool is limited to the vector space, subspace, after that the basis, dimension. So these kind of concept I am going to involve. So far if anyone has confusion, then please let me know. Have you understood the background of problem or not? So this problem is not only important for calculation of the equilibrium point. If you learn system identification, there also I have some kind of algebraic equation, and we have to solve that equation in order to identify the parameters of the system. Whenever you are dealing with machine learning, at that time again I have linear equation and we have to solve that. So this equation is very wide scope. If you learn how to give guarantee of the solution, you are able to apply this kind of technique to machine learning in order to solve the equilibrium point, in order to do the parameter estimation, even if that concept is also useful whenever some kind of algebraic relation exists between two quantities. Okay, and due to that reason today's lecture is very important. Okay, now let us come to the background, and after that I will come to the our problem. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to start with some equation ax equal to y. Okay, so I am going to talk about general case, and due to that reason I am assuming that a matrix is not a square matrix. Each entry of a is some kind of constant real number, and the number of row is m and number of column is n. Okay, and now if you know the number of column is n, so obviously x belongs to n cross 1 and y belongs to m cross 1 in order to match the dimension. So this is the specification of the system or some kind of algebraic equation, and I have to solve this equation. Okay, now objective I have already written. The matrices a and y are given and x is the unknown to me, and I have to check that there always exists solution or there exists some kind of a specification about a, then only I can able to talk about the solution. That kind of things I have to see. Okay, so first before going to the solution, try to see the interpretation. Suppose if I have some kind of matrix, you can see for time being I am going to take some kind of a square matrix only, but you can take any matrix, that doesn't matter. Okay, now suppose if I am writing x1, x2 and x3, you can see that, and I have some output y1, y2 and y3, I can able to interpret this same thing like this 3 3 2. So I have vectors, and x1 I can assume that as some kind of a scalar. Similarly I can able to define like this x2, and similarly I can able to write like this. Anyone has confusion on this representation, then please let me know. So what I am telling, that whenever you have something like ax equal to y, so for time being you can assume that is a square matrix, and that is also general for any non-square matrix, that is not a problem. Okay, so here you can see that x1 and x2 and x3, they are combinedly form a column vector, but each entry is a scalar. So now this left hand side I can able to express in terms of linear combination. Linear combination, how basically we are defining linear combination? Linear combination, in order to define linear combination, we are taking vectors and we are multiplying with some kind of a scalar, and after that we are telling that I am going to get some kind of result where y1, y2 and y3. Okay, so what do you think, when solution will exist? Anyone? In terms of a span, anyone? Manali, could you please comment in terms of a span? I
Yes, so sir, if all the three vectors are independent, linearly
Okay,
independent,
okay, linearly independent. What is another condition?
and if they span the
Yeah,
space,
span the space. So I have y1, y2, y3. So that is limited point is given. Now I have to change x1, x2 and x3 because I know these three are fixed. So if this y1, y2 and y3 is fall in the range of column space, you can see that that is a space is generated by column. So I have one column vector, two column vector and three column vector. So y1, y2 and y3 I can select by just scaling that column vector. Okay, so if by varying x1 and x2, if I get y1, y2 and y3, then I can tell that y1, y2 and y3 is in range space. Okay, so we will see that kind of definition. So now what happens, that set actually consists m equation and n unknown if you are taking the mismatch case. Okay, similarly now if you have just two vector and two quantities here, you can again define in the same way. Okay, so now solution of some algebraic equation you can interpret in terms as a linear combination and in terms of a span. Anyone has confusion on this? So you can see that I have started with an algebraic equation, and after that I have incorporated the idea of linear combination, and I know that set of all linear combination is nothing but some fancy name span, and now I am going to check that y1, y2, y3 is going to lie on a span or not. If that is going to lie, then I have solution, unique solution. Okay, if not, then I don't have solution. Or again, uniqueness and non-uniqueness, I will comment why uniqueness and non-uniqueness is there. So number of equation can be larger than smaller than the unknown. What happens, that I have told you that several time I am going to solve some kind of estimation problem. At that time I have to do experiment, and after that I have to identify the parameters. Neural network also, suppose that system order is very large, then but I cannot able to perform infinite many experiment, and due to that reason, by performing finite number of experiment, I have to identify some kind of quantity. So it might possible sometime number of unknown or number of known is lesser than, sometime greater than unknown. Okay, so both possibility is there. Now we discuss the existence condition. So what we found, that somehow that idea of vector space, because linear combination is coming from the vector space, because if I have some kind of space where I can define two operations, and I have some kind of field as a real number, then I can define the linear combination. Due to that reason I am telling that this guarantee I can give using the notion of vector space. Now I am going to define some definition. So first definition is range space of matrix A. So range space of A is defined as a all possible linear combination of all columns of A. So you can see that I have separated all columns of A, and after that I am searching the linear combination, all possible linear combination, because x1 and x2 and x3 is any real number, and due to that reason I have collection of the linear combination, that is called a span. Okay, so now I hope that you are able to understand the definition of range space of A. So range space, whenever I am telling that something in range, provided if I vary x1 and x2 and x3, then I can able to get that quantity. That is the meaning. Anyone has confusion? Okay, now let us come to the next definition, that is rank of A. So rank of A is defined as the dimension of range space, or equivalently number of linearly independent column in A. So it made possible even if I have some kind of matrix here. Luckily, whatever matrix I have constructed, I haven't checked. Okay, so please check if that is linearly independent. Okay, so dimension is 3, because how basically I have defined the dimension. Anyone, could you please tell me that how to define the dimension quickly, please?
Number of vectors in the basis.
Yeah, number of vector in the basis. And how to select the basis? We are seeing the linearly independent vector, and at the same time we are also seeing the span, that whole space is spanned or not. Okay, so due to that reason, rank of A is defined as the dimension of range space, or equivalently number of linearly independent column of A. Okay, so in this way I can able to define the rank of some matrix. Anyone has confusion? Okay, now let us come to the next definition. So far I have defined two things: range of A. So range of A means column, I can select the column vector, I will vary the field element, and after that I will see that whatever our output, that is spanned by that or not. Okay, now third definition is null vector. So what is meaning of null vector? I am telling that I have some matrix A. Now some vector is going to operate there, and if that is going to produce 0, then that vector is called null vector. Okay, so basically if you have system like x dot equal to ax, and if you are going to solve this solution, so equilibrium point is nothing but the null vector. Equilibrium point is nothing but some kind of vector. You can tell that that vector is null vector, because if that operate on a system matrix, then that produce some kind of quantity which is not going to move. Means in a space, a state space, whole space, I have some kind of point where if I start, then velocity is 0, so I cannot move. Okay, so using null space you can able to define the equilibrium point of linear time invariant autonomous system. Okay, now now let us come to the definition of nullity. So nullity is defined the maximum number of linearly independent null vector of A. Okay, so what happens now? Suppose if dimension of x A is n cross n or n cross m, it is possible to show that I have number of the null vector that is the lesser than the required one. Okay, so due to that reason, what I have to search that how many null linearly independent null vector inside some vector A. By if we will see the example, then we are able to understand this point more clearly. Okay, so I have definition of range, rank, null vector and nullity. Okay, so if you see carefully, then nullity A is number of column, because if I know the number of column, then I can expect that I have n number of independent column, but out of that it might possible something might be dependent only, so we have to remove that dependent vector. Okay, so if I know the rank, because rank is concerned with the independent vector, so if I remove that independent vector, so whatever remaining vector, that is called nullity. Anyone has confusion on this? So suppose I have m number of column, and out of m I have n, rank is n. So it means that remaining m minus n is called nullity. Okay, let us see one example, and again I will come back to the definition. So I have constructed some kind of matrix, and you can see that this matrix, each entry is real number, so I have written real number, and after that number of the row is 3 and column is 4. So I have 3 cross 4 matrix. Okay, now what I am going to do, whenever I have some kind of matrix, first I am going to arrange the column. So I have 4 column vectors, and using that 4 column vector I am going to represent this matrix A. Okay, now if you see, I have given some name to each column vector a1, a2, a3, a4. After that it is possible to show that a1 and a2 are linearly independent. How to solve or how to show? You can just solve this equation and alpha 2 into a2 and 0, and so that alpha 1 and alpha 2 only equal to 0. There is no other solution than alpha 1 and alpha 2 equal to 0. Okay, and in this way it is possible to show that. Please check it. I am not going to do that calculation. Now what happens, I have third column vector, and it is possible to show that third column vector will satisfy this kind of relation. Okay, so if I will go up to, if you just check one, so obviously you know that one vector is linearly independent. If you check two, then you are able to find alpha and alpha 2, and in this way you can able to comment that that is linearly independent or not. Now what you can do, you can consider the 3 and try to solve equation, and it is possible to show that a1 plus a2 minus a3 equal to 0. So what one can comment? Anyone? Could you please comment about this?
They are linearly dependent.
Yeah, linearly dependent. Okay, it means that 1, 3, 2 are not a free vector. Okay, now I will see the last one. So if this is not free, then forget about this. Okay, now try to see the rest one, and it is possible to show that that will again satisfy this kind of condition. Okay, so by seeing clearly 1, 2 is here and 2, 4 is here, it means that this is also can be expressed in linear combination of another vector, so I can remove it. It means that if you see the matrix A, so range space means whatever independent column, okay, using that independent column I can span the space, that is 2. What one can comment about nullity? Anyone? Could you please comment about nullity now?
Yes, it is 4 minus 2. 2.
Yeah, 4 minus 2, it is 2. Okay. Anyone has confusion on this, then please let me know. Now what I have to do, I know that nullity is 2, so I have to select two vectors. Okay, and null vector might be in any form. Okay, but how to find that null vector? Just I have to solve this condition. I can select any null vector ni, since 2 is there, so I know 2 is there, so I have to solve this equation. Okay, so A is given. Now I have to adjust ni such that product of these two are 0, and just 2 is enough, because all other, if I know the 2, then I can able to identify any other null vector. But whenever we are selecting 2, I have to make sure that is linearly independent. Then only using that two linearly independent null vector, I can able to generate rest null vector. Anyone has confusion? Anyone? And due to that reason, whenever you have matrix, then you are able to find the null vector. Okay, now what I am going to do, what we found, that I have some kind of independent vector, and that is I have defined that as a range space of A, and another one is nullity. So with help of range and nullity, now I am going to define or talk about the solution of the equation. Okay, so let us first see the theorem, and after that I will see the solution. Okay, so what theorem is telling, suppose matrix A is m cross n matrix, and each entry is real number I am assuming, and m cross 1 is vector y, and n cross 1 is the solution. So I have equation like ax equal to y, and I am assuming that here I am assuming that this particularly is n cross 1 vector, and that is unknown. So ax equal to y if and only if, you can see that this statement, if and only if I am telling y lie in the range space of A. So solution only exists if I have column vectors, and whatever quantity I am going to multiply with column vector. After adjusting this, all three, I will get y1, y2 up to yn, something like that. Okay, so and due to that reason, I have written that given M cross N matrix A, M cross 1 matrix Y, N cross 1 solution X exists if Ax equal to Y, if and only if Y lie in the range space of A. And we know that how to define the range space. Okay, we have seen the definition. Anyone has confusion? And equivalently, you can also check that I am going to check that what is I will take that vector A. After that, what I am going to do, I am going to add additional column, okay, of Y. So I have solution Ax equal to Y. So I am going to collect this matrix, and I know this matrix. So with these two, I can going to keep together. Okay, and after that, what we are going to see? We are going to see the rank of this. Okay, if rank of this is full row rank or full column rank, then I can tell that there exists a solution Ax equal to Y. So same kind of things I have written here. Anyone has confusion? And it is possible to show that just from the definition, because from definition only I am telling that I can span y1, y2, yn by adjusting x1 and x2 and xn. Due to that reason, first theorem is obvious. Okay, and obviously first theorem is obvious, then what happens? Rank become full. Okay, and due to that reason, second statement is also obvious. Okay, now let us come to the solution. So now what we have seen, that whenever I am going to solve these two, then at least I have two different spaces. One is range space and another one is null space, or some kind of nullity is there. So with help of these two, I can define the solution, complete solution. Okay, and that is that I am telling that parameterization means I am going to express solution in terms of some parameters. Okay, so what I am telling that, suppose I have Ax equal to Y and nullity is K. It means that nullity is K means in null space I have K number of independent vectors. Anyone has confusion on this? So nullity is just telling that K number of independent vector can able to produce Ax equal to 0. That is the meaning. Now whenever you have to solve Ax equal to Y, so what you can do, you can solve Ax equal to 0, and after that you can shift it to Ax equal to Y. That is the meaning, shifting. So it means that you have some solution that is associated with this, and after that you have to parallelly shift the solution. And due to that reason, you can see here in one interpretation is that, so Ax equal to 0 solution is nothing but the space that is generated by the all null vector. So I have n1 to nk null vector. I am telling that k is not equal to 0. If k is 0, then story is over, because now I have m number of vector. Okay, and using m number of vector, I have to travel in whole space such that I will cover m. So that is possible because a nullity is 0. But if nullity is finite, then you can see that if you solve Ax equal to 0, so I have solution, and if I have n number of vectors, so how to create whole space? Just by doing linear combination. So alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha k is the parameters. Okay, and n1 and nk is the basis of the null space. Why I am telling basis? Because in null space I may have infinite many vector, but I have to express only those vector. Using the help of that vector I can generate the rest one, and I know the definition from the basis that is possible. Okay, and due to that reason I have written here. Now what is xp? Xp is nothing but, because what we have found that only k is the nullity, so rest one is fall in range space, and due to that reason x is xp. So full solution is just addition of these two solutions. Okay, and it is very easy to check. What you can do, you can substitute it here. So something is nullity, so due to that reason this equal to 0, so a xp equal to now y. So a and xp if you apply, then you are getting y. Okay, anyone has confusion on this? Then please let me know. This is 0 due to the definition of the nullity, because we are telling that some kind of null vector, if they operate on a, then that will produce the 0. Okay, so in this way I am telling that xp also satisfy the solution, and xp is nothing but that is going to fall in the range space. Okay, so now what I am telling that for every alpha I have solution like this, and it is possible to show that if I I actually substitute or subtract axp y, then I can able to get here, if you put whole quantity here, then and ax bar y is there, suppose x bar is the solution of the remaining quantity, then from here if you subtract both sides, then x bar minus xp equal to 0. So if you just take x bar minus xp, that is nothing but the null space. So same kind of things I am going to tell. Anyone has confusion on this? Then please let me know. Okay, is it okay for everyone? So in using the help of the linear span, okay, basis and linear combination, you can see that I can able to specify the complete solution. Okay, and here could you please tell me that how many different solution is possible? If I have some kind of k has some finite value, anyone could you please tell me how many solutions is possible?
So more than one, like
Infinite solution, because
many.
alpha 1 and alpha I can adjust anything. Okay, due to that reason I have infinite many solution. But if k is 0, then exactly I have one solution, x equal to xp, unique solution. Okay, so we will come to that particular point. Okay, now what happens, I have taken one simple example, same example ax, and y I have now chosen -4, -8 and 0, and I am going to search that what is form of solution for this particular problem. So you can see that this problem is exactly same like previous one. I have some kind of matrix A, and I am going to find out that what kind of null vector is associated here. Here you can see that same matrix I am here, and I know the null vector. Okay, so solution, now just what I have to find, I have to find something that is in range space, and after that I have to just add it. Okay, so due to that reason, now let us come to the solution, complete solution of this. Okay, so this complete solution of this problem, you can see that if I will select xp equal to this, and if xp equal to this, so using these two independent column, I can able to travel to this particular value -4 or -8. Okay, so this is the solution. So one solution xp I have found, and after that now I am going to adjust n1 and n2, and alpha 1 and alpha 2 is any quantity. So in this way I can able to find the complete solution of ax equal to y. Okay, so now you can use same kind of technique to generalize for any solution. What happens that most of time whenever we are going to solve the problem, at that time it might possible in place of ax equal to y, I have some equation like x a equal to y. Okay, so at that time you can see that interpretation is little bit different, but obviously I can apply everything. What you can do now, you can take transpose on both sides. So if you take transpose, then now you can see that my problem is again the same. A transpose is known to me because a is known, so I can tell that a transpose is known, and y is known, so I can tell that y transpose is known, and after that I can solve for x transpose t, and finally I can extract whatever solution I have. I will take again one more transpose. So due to that reason, please do not worry, if I have equation like xa equal to y, then also I can apply the same theorem. Okay, and this result is basically telling the same. So I have m cross n matrix A, solution A exists if and only if I have full column rank. Okay, so in that way I can able to specify, and similar way I can able to write like this. So again I can able to talk about this solution. Okay, anyone has confusion? So that is obvious by taking transpose on both sides. Now another way to talk about the solution, suppose if I have a square matrix. Up so far I have just talked about those kind of matrix which is non-square, and most of time whenever you are going to solve the problem related to machine learning, neural network, or parameter estimation, then you are able to find that you have non-square matrix. But if you are going to solve the problem related to the equilibrium point or some standard problem, then they are also, in that particular case I have some kind of matrix that is a square matrix. Okay, so now for a square matrix we have some more elegant result, and I am going to talk about that. So what we found, that rank of matrix is defined the number of linearly independent column or row. Okay, so both way I can define, either you can select linearly independent column and row, then that doesn't matter. Okay, anyone has confusion on this? Then please let me know. Okay, now what I am going to tell, that if I have just 1 cross 1 matrix, then determinant is the same. So now one way that with help of the linearly independent column and row I can able to define the rank. Another way is that you can see the determinant, and I hope that this formula you have encountered already, you have encountered for this formula. And this formula is Aij is nothing but, I have some kind of, suppose I have some kind of matrix 2 cross 2 matrix or 3 cross 3 matrix. So I will select some kind of element. So suppose I have 3 cross 3 matrix, 6, 7, 8, 9, something I have written arbitrary. So suppose Aij, if you select here, then you have to delete these two, and after that whatever things is remaining, that is called cofactor. You are already aware about this. And after that what happens, this element is 4, and in this way I can able to I equal to 1 to n. It means that if I have 3 cross 3 matrix, then I have to perform this summation up to 3, and I can able to find the value of determinant. Okay, and if I have, due to this region only, suppose I have some kind of matrix like this, 4, 7, 0, 0, 1. Could you please tell me that what is determinant of this matrix? Here 0. Anyone? Product of all. Why? Due to this relation. Okay, because if you select this, now you can see that what happens, I have this. If you select this, now what happens, I have everything is 0. If you select this, then 0 multiplied by, due to that reason 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 1. This formula is called Laplace expansion. This is called Laplace expansion. So this is the generalized one. Okay, I hope that you are already well aware about that. Okay, now, and obviously for this is true for triangular matrix. Any triangular matrix, if you have to calculate the determinant, what you can do, just you can take the product of all diagonal entry. Okay, so now what happens, that whenever we are going to talk about the rank, so we are going to see the relation between order and rank. Okay, so I have R cross R sub matrix that is related. Whenever we are going to find some kind of cofactor, then R cross R sub matrix of A, and that is also called a minor of order R. Okay, so suppose that whatever in previous example, whenever I have taken 3 cross 3 matrix and 4 I have fixed, then I have 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, so whatever 2 cross 2 matrix that comes into picture, I am telling that that is called a minor of order R, means here minor of order is 2. Okay, anyone has confusion on this definition? Just I have defined some fancy name I have given. Then rank can be defined the largest order of all non-zero minors of A. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the rank, so just you can see the minors, and largest minor you have to select, means rank of order of largest minor. Okay, that is the rank of matrix. Okay, and all other, suppose you have 1000 cross 1000 matrix, matrix, and what you found that minor of order is just 5. Okay, so all minors of order more than 5 equal to 0. Okay, and obviously a square matrix is said to be non-singular if determinant is non-zero. Okay, so non-singular, and if that is singular then determinant equal to 0. So now whenever you have to to check that solution for this square matrix, here a is a square matrix, so in order to do that I have to make sure that the a is invertible. So how to make sure? Just you make sure that that is non-singular. If that is non-singular, then I can tell that there exists a unique solution. Okay, now similar kind of things I have written that ax equal to y, a is a square matrix, then what happens that ax equal to 0 has unique solution provided a is non-singular. Okay, so now come to the original question, x dot equal to ax. Okay, so could you please tell me that under what condition this linear system has unique equilibrium point? Anyone, could you please tell me? Shubham, could you please comment that ax equal to 0 when we have a unique equilibrium point? Dhaval also please comment, that is not a problem.
Determinant of a does not equals to 0.
Yeah, so and what is the solution?
Unix is then trivial one.
Solution is x equal to 0 because I have unique solution
Trivial.
0. So now could you please tell me that under what situation I have infinite many equilibrium point?
When A is singular matrix,
Yeah, A is singular matrix, so I have infinite many solution. Okay, and since linear system is there, so if linear system always satisfy the superposition principle, and due to that reason I can tell that if equilibrium point is, I have more than one equilibrium point, then suppose I have two equilibrium point, so there do not exist two equilibrium point that is isolated, because property of the superposition or linearity, I can tell that any line joining between these two are also equilibrium point, and due to that reason all equilibrium point of linear system, if that is more than one, means x equal to 0 other than x equal to 0, that are connected. Okay, so from here you are able to get that, but this equation ax equal to b is very standard. So now you are able to understand that how to interpret that equation in terms of linear combination, in using the column space, or finally by spanning the column vectors, or we are forming range space, and what is how basically solution one can express in terms of rank and nullity. Okay, now let us come to the second part. So second part is actually again the application of basically the basis. Okay, and I hope that you have already encountered about this, that is called similarity transformation. Okay, so similarity transformation is again related to the square matrix. Okay, so quickly I am going to discuss about this. Okay, so what I am telling now, suppose you have some kind of n cross n matrix. Okay, or more comfortably you can take this system x dot equal to ax. Okay, or even if you can take ax equal to x dot equal to ax plus bu, and suppose you have designed some kind of a state feedback. I hope that you have learned about how to design the state feedback controller for the linear LTI system. At that time you can see that again I have some kind of matrix like this only, and I can assume that this as a square matrix. Okay, so whatever result I am going to tell here, that is equally valid. Okay, either I have forced system or unforced system. Forced system means u equal to non-zero, unforced system means u equal to 0. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to select n cross n matrix, and each entry of this matrix A is some kind of real number. It is possible to show that here this matrix A map from Rn to itself. Okay, so what I am telling now, suppose whenever I am writing some kind of 2 cross 2 matrix 1 3. So someone, could you please tell me that what is basis of this matrix? Manali, quickly could you please tell me that what is basis of this matrix, and how many basis, how many, what is dimension of this matrix?
So both are linearly independent. So 2 1 and 2 3.
So dimension is 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, okay. So suppose that now in place of 2 and 2, I will replace by A, B, C, D. What do you think? Now I have to span A, B, C, D. Okay. So please do not confuse with rank and dimension. Okay. Now what I am telling, you can see here that I have to span this. So what kind of vectors are required? One very standard vector I am telling. Is it okay? Using these 4 vector, I can span this whole space like A, B, C, D.
Yes, sir.
So how many element inside the basis?
4.
4, sir.
So what is dimension?
4.
Now what is rank of this matrix? So due to that reason, you can see that there are two different definition. One definition is rank, another definition is dimension. Okay. Now you can select the column vector, and after that you try to span the space. Okay, and in that way we are defining the rank. Okay, so due to that reason I am telling that means be careful whenever you are applying some kind of definition. Okay, so now what I am telling that if I have some kind of matrix A, so matrix A here, what they are doing, it map Rn into itself. It means that if I have equation like Ax equal to something, Ax equal to some suppose y, and if A is a square matrix, you know that I have n cross n matrix, so x should be n cross 1, so y is also n cross 1. So if you apply A to this matrix, you can see that here Rn, so that is mapped to Rn only. Anyone has confusion? Now I can select the basis Rn. I have to select the basis of Rn. Okay, so Rn means I am selecting the basis of this column vector. Okay, so I can express the matrix in two different way, either in this form, or I can also express same matrix like this. Okay, so if I will try to define matrix like this, at that time you can see that basis is just 2. Okay, but if I try to represent like this, at that time I have different situation. So we have to specify how basically we are defining. Okay, so due to that reason, what I am telling that associated Rn, actually n cross n, it means that I am now going to represent the whole matrix by column vector. Okay, so one orthogonal basis, if you are going to represent in terms of column vector, at that time that is like this, and like this. Anyone has confusion? So how many bases is possible for one space? How many different way I can define the basis in some space? Anyone? Please tell me quickly. In previous class we have seen that in finite many way I can define the basis of the same space. Okay, but if I fix the basis, then representation of point is unique. That kind of things I can comment. Okay, so you can see that ith column I am telling that now I am going to represent same space by different basis q1, q2 and qn. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to do one case study. So A matrix I have taken, and after that I have taken some kind of B matrix. Okay, so I have taken B matrix like 0 0 1. Okay, and what I am going to do now, I am going to calculate AB. Okay, after that I am going to calculate A square B. and a cube b. Okay, after that what I am going to do, you can see here I am going to see the relation between all three, and it is possible to show that relation a3 a cube b, because I have every numerical value, so I can either using computer I can generate this kind of relationship. So I can tell now that b a b a square b are linearly independent. Anyone has confusion on this? Then please let me know. Okay, so now if you don't have confusion, now what I am going to tell, that AB I can able to write like this: AB a square b and 0 1 0. So if you multiply this matrix, that R1 cross 3 and this 3 cross 1, so finally only AB will appear. Similarly, I can able to give one entry here, so a square b will appear, and after that I know that if I know the AB and a square b, I can able to express a cube b using this relation, and due to that reason this function 17 minus 15 and b comes into picture. Okay, all are bases, so I can tell that with respect to that basis I have another representation of same matrix a bar, that is given like this. Anyone has confusion? What I am telling with respect to a standard basis and how we have generated a standard basis, I am taking I1, I2, In, and I1 I have defined like this, I2 I have defined like this, I3 I have defined like this. Okay, so with respect to orthonormal means if you see the dot product of this, any two you can take, then that is always zero. I will define this in the next class. Okay, what is meaning of orthonormal basis? Just you can see this is a standard basis, you can tell. Now if I have one basis, I can generate new basis and I can express the same matrix with help of in the another basis. Okay, so same matrix can be represented with the, using two different bases. So what do you think, there exists some relation or not? Anyone, could you please comment about this? I am telling that I have some matrix A. One time I have expressed that in terms of standard basis. Okay, second time I am going to express same kind of quantity using another basis. And what is the requirement of basis? I just need the independent vector. So I have 3 cross 3 matrix, so I have selected 3 independent vector. Okay, so what do you think, matrix represented using one coordinate frame or one basis is related to another basis or not? What is obvious answer?
Yes.
Yes. So now another more important thing, that if we know that that answer is yes, then how to find or how to establish the relationship. Okay, and after once I will establish the relationship, then you are going to see that this you have used this kind of relationship several times inside the whenever you are dealing with the modern control engineering. Okay, so what I am telling now, suppose if I have n cross n matrix. Okay, so if I have some kind of n cross n matrix, so similar way I will start with b. How basically I will select 0 0 0 or last entry 1. Okay, after that what I am going to do, I am going to generate a square b, a cube b, something like that, and finally what happens, that I will again come up to some kind of relationship like this. Okay, so if I have n cross n matrix, it is possible to show that I have n number of linearly independent column vectors like b a b a n minus b. Okay, and finally if you represent in that form, that is called companion form. Okay, so have you used this kind of companion form during the course of modern control theory? Have you used this kind of companion form?
Yes.
So this companion form is possible. Why? Because same matrix I can represent using two different bases. Okay, if that is not there, then I cannot able to do that. Okay, now I think that my OneNote has some problem. So I will proceed with this slide only. Okay, now I at least am able to understand now there exists a relationship. Okay, so now I am going to establish that relationship. I will take just 5 minutes now. So ax equal to y, and what a is doing, they are mapping from Rn to Rn. I have already told you that x in Rn and y in Rn. And with respect, I have selected two different bases. One is orthonormal basis, okay, and second basis or standard basis, and second basis I have generated by myself. Okay, now what I am going to do, if I am going to express system in different bases, obviously each thing is going to change. A become a bar, x become x bar, y become y bar. Now we are going to establish the relationship between a and a bar. Since q1, q2 and qn are the newly generated bases, so that is linearly independent. Okay, so and we know that every vector I can express in terms of linearly independent vector, and due to that reason alpha 1 q1, alpha 2 q2, and alpha and qn I have something like that. Okay, so q1 and q2 and qn we have understood that how to generate. One way to generate in controllable companion form. Similarly, I can generate by observable companion form also. Okay, so I have different choice. Okay, now if I have two choice, then how that is related, we are going to find that kind of relationship. So you can see here x is q1, q2 and qn. So I have defined q x bar. Anyone has confusion? Now what I am going to do, x bar I have represented using different bases, and now since x is nothing but qx bar, y is qy bar. From here x you can see that qx bar. Similarly y is qy bar. What I am going to do now, I am going to substitute that into ax equal to y. So if you substitute into ax equal to y, and after that, now whatever expression that is generated, now we have to know that what kind of modification that comes into picture. And here you can see that in place of a bar I have q inverse a and q. Okay, so I have to compare with this. So a bar I can able to generate by q inverse a and q, and this transformation is called similarity transformation. Okay, because I am telling that a and a bar both are somehow both are similar, or both are doing the same job, so they are almost similar. Okay, and it means that if I can express system, I have some matrix A, or suppose A is system matrix for dynamical system, then using this kind of transformation by selecting, now you can see that Q you can select in infinite many way. Okay, so you can select Q based on your choice. Just you have to make sure that AQ equal to QA bar, that kind of relationship is there. Then you are able to express same matrix in different way. Okay, so due to that reason, theme of a story is that since I have idea of basis, so one element I can represent using different coordinate frame. Okay, and I know exactly what kind of relation with that two element. So I have considered the matrix, a square matrix, because whenever we are dealing with LTI system where x dot equal to ax is there, so now sometime a matrix is quite complicated, so we are going to simplify it. Okay, suppose you have to design the controller, okay, or you have to check the controllability. At that time we know that convenient form is controllable canonical form. Okay, so using similarity transformation I can able to do. Similarly, I have to design observer. At that time I know that observable form is more comfortable, so I can generate again with the help of same kind of transformation. So now it is time to conclude the today's lecture. So what we found in today's lecture, that whatever technique we have learned in the previous class, vector space, subspace, after that linear combination, a spanning set, basis, dimension. So using help of that, we have solved two different problem that is associated with the linear system. Okay, so first problem, how to solve Ax equal to y, so how to find the equilibrium point, or same way I can tell that whenever I will solve the parameter estimation problem, I hope that you haven't you are not knowing the parameter estimation problem. Sometime you can encounter that. So again you have to solve the same equation. Okay, and using the help of the vector space, I can able to give the guarantee that when solution will exist. And after that, what we found that if I have some kind of system, linear LTI system, I can able to express that in different form. Okay, and why that form is possible? Because I have multiple bases exist for the same system matrix, and all bases are related by similarity transformation. Okay, that kind of things I'm going to comment. Okay, so with help of these two, I can able to deal lot of things about the linear system, and due to that reason you have to learn the linear algebra a lot, such that you are able to establish lot of result. Okay, so with this remark I am going to end the today's lecture. If you have any specific question, then please ask me. Okay, if you don't have question, then thank you very much.